We're going to put medicine downstream in a patient's IV. All right, we've given a CC. You see that even if you've given a CC, now it's filling up the entire tubing. And so right now I'll open up the tubing completely, and you can see how fast this is dripping upstream. Pretty routine IV, and look down here. You'll see it's still quite dark blue. And that's as if you give it basically at the wrist. You're still going to see that it's still blue, even, what, 30 seconds later? And that's with it dripping at a relatively aggressive rate. And so even now, there's still blue down at the bottom. And so even here, it would be nice if you gave it one quick flush, and then the medicine would be in completely. If we give you a little bit more upstream, I'll give one more example of how flushing is to our benefit. Okay, so we've given the medicine up here. We're good now, right? It's going to be dripping aggressively. I've already squeezed this bag once, so you see that the tubing is now completely blue from the medicine that we injected. And then one easy way to get this medicine to flow all the way through is to flush it this way. So I'll show you. You can put a 3 cc syringe on. You can pinch downstream to pull the fluid out. You can see there's blue, not even blue halfway through this tubing by now. You can let go and flush, pull, flush. That's 3, 4, 5. You can see the tubing down there is still blue. 6, 7, 8. All right, so it took about 24 cc's for us to get that medicine into the patient if we gave it upstream, and that's with a flush. If you drip, it'll take forever. And if you try and give it one more time, I'll show you how squeezing the bag goes. You can give it down here. And then have it wide open. And I'm going to squeeze the bag, and in this one, you won't be able to see it coming all the way through, but I'm squeezing as hard as I can. And the medicine, we're 10 seconds in or so, we're not even halfway. Still squeezing the bag. Medicine's not even starting to get into the patient. Nobody's going to be holding this bag for 20 seconds. I've never seen a nurse hold pressure for 20 seconds, but none of the medicine is in. You see that? So we haven't given the patient any sedation, and you can see, well, before I squeeze this had a really good drip rate, and you could still see drip, 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 drip. Not a single bit of medicine is inside the patient, and that's if you held it for 20 seconds, which nobody holds it for more than 5. If you were to flush it, it takes 24 cc's. So this is just a reminder. See, now it's in the entire tubing, and that's just 1 cc of the medicine. So it's just so important for us to flush the IVs, and we have a bag upstream we can pull from, so you have unlimited saline if you need it, or lactated ringers. You can use a 5 cc 5 times. You can use a 3 cc 8 times if that's what you're given the sedation with. And I don't know how long it's been, but most injection providers, non-operative providers, are already going to be starting their procedure, and now basically none of this medicine is in.
And I'll wait for you here at E.
So we're going to open up the IV. We've got blue dye in the IV tubing. There's none below it. When we open up the stopcock, it'll drip like most IVs drip. I can open this up just a little bit. And as you see, even if it's dripping spontaneously, so look at this tubing, see how it's drip, 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 drip. And look at this, it's still blue in the IV line. And we could count it, so we could wait 10, 20 seconds, but you see with it even dripping what most of us would call a normal IV rate, it's been at least 10 seconds, and then you can even focus on this because we haven't even gotten any of the medicine, the blue medicine, past this tubing part. So even as we're maybe 20 seconds in, now there's blue from here all the way to maybe 5 inches below where we first gave it. And there's still some tinting of blue to this tubing, as you can see. So here's me squeezing the IV bag. And you see it's still blue. This is me squeezing it as hard as I can. And this is 10 seconds of squeezing. See, it's still blue. And nobody's gonna stand there for 30 seconds and squeeze this bag, but you can see that it's still blue. Look at the stopcock. And maybe it's almost in, but there's actually still even blue upstream with us dripping it and leaving it. So we'll do one more experiment. I'll stop this so that we can add a little bit more medicine, because nurse, this patient doesn't feel sedated, so we need to help them. So I gave a cc in here. Some of it went upstream, so I might have to have it come down just a little bit. Okay, so you'll see it's dark blue here. You gave your medicine usually through a 3 cc syringe. We'll probably have to let it go just a hair further so that I don't have to draw from. There you go. All right, so you've got blue here. It's clear downstream. All right, so I'll open this up and let's see what flushing does. So immediately it's already an increment further. Pull it from the bag. Further. This is already 9 cc's. 12 cc's. 15. 18. 21. 24 cc's. And now it's clear all the way through. And there's no blue upstream. So it took what, 8 flushes of the 3 cc syringe, one after the other, using the IV bag to get all of the blue dye all the way through. But when we were holding it for 30 seconds, we still barely got it through even after we let it drip for about 30 seconds. So it's so much faster to pinch downstream, pull back from the bag, open it up so that you'll go downstream, and then that's the easiest way to flush it. That's how we should do it. That way the patients can feel the sedation sooner than I think we realize where the tubing doesn't get the benefit.